Good morning, friends. How is your day? And welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I am going to discuss about the anti-pad and the different terminology associated with the anti-pad and to decide whether between the anti-pads or between the BGA region, either single layer routing or double layer routing is possible or not. So let's start with to understand this diagram. So basically we start with FHS. So FHS is here is finished hole size. So FHS is basically we draw one kind of via between the in the PCB from one layer to another layer. So this is the FHS for the like connection between the layers, right? We suppose if one transmission line is passing from one layer to another layer, suppose from layer 2 to a layer 3 to layer 9, a layer 2 to layer 8, anyway. So we need to take the help of via. So for that we need to draw the via size, right? So via size basically we start with FHS. FHS is finished hole size, and we draw another one DHS, that is called drill hole size. So after drawing FHS there will be some thin wall here, so that will have some drill hole size, right? This is drill hole size, and after that we need to have some gap for the pad. This is called the functional pad, and again we will have some gap for the anti-pad. So this is the anti-pad. Now the question arises, the main problem comes if we want to see in the BGA region. BGA region, you know, like IC chip will have the package, right? We'll have some BGA point at this point, we'll have some connection from point to point. So their BGA, if you search in the IC dataset, you will find they may have 1 mm or 2 mm or maybe 1 mm or 0.8 mm pitch for that BGA. Ball grid array, we call BGA is the ball grid array. So here the dimension you can see 1 mm or 0.8 mm. So we need to find out either the spacing between these two arrays good enough to pass the transmission line between these two via. So BGA 1 mm is 39.37 mils and 0.8 mm is 31.49 mils. So we'll see how to check either this copper space. Yeah, now you can that this one is the cross sectional this one is the cross sectional view, and I have another diagram to show you the top view. You can see this is the FHS, this one is the drill hole size, this one is the pad, and another one anti-pad. And similarly if we have one for this and the BGA we have this kind of structure. The now we need to find out either the spacing between these two is enough for copper spacing for routing, is it enough or not. So for that we need to do some calculation. You can see we need to check either this transmission line passing from transmission line or trace passing between these two trace is enough or not. This is the single transmission line, you can say. We also need to check either the double or you can say differential transmission line can pass or not. You can say differential signal, that is a single single in signal, that is this is a differential in signal. We need to check either the spacing available is enough or not, because we need to make sure there must have some spacing between the line to the via and line to via, and there will be some spacing between between the differential signal. So let's do some calculation. So calculation, you can say rules we have. For first we will do the calculation for the 1 mm BGA pitch. As I have discussed, there are some finished hole size and DHS is the drill hole size. There will be some rules for the minimum criteria for the pad and for the anti-pad. Then we will check either this copper spacing is enough or not. So FHS is basically we choose either 10 mils or even sometimes 8 mils. Just for calculation purpose, here I have written 10 mils. And drill hole size we usually decides FHS plus here 2 to 4 mils. This is not 2 minus 4, this is 2 to 4 mils, guys. Plus 2 to 4 mils, you can say. So 10 is 12 mils will be the DHS size, you can see here, right? Now pad is, you can say, DHS plus 8 mils, so 12 mils, the pad will be 28. Again, anti-pad is pad plus 8 mils minimum. This is minimum, you can have more than that. Now the question arises, why we can have more than that, right? To get the proper anti-pad, because this dimension will define the anti-pad impedance, and you need to design the anti-pad in such a way that it matches the impedance, to have proper impedance matching. If you don't have impedance matching, there will be very high the return loss will not be good, right? But this is the minimum criteria to meet the manufacturing rules. Now let us see about the copper space. So copper space, you know 1 mm, right? So 1 mm, I have already shown you 1 mm from here to here, or from here to here, 1 mm. But I need to find out now, because anti-pad here taken from this part to this part already. From here to here, this dimension is 28, right? This diameter, anti-pad here is diameter, okay, not radius. You have to consider this is diameter, 28 mils. So radius will be half of this, right? And even if you have anti-pad this BGF from both sides, it will be 14, right? If it is 28 mils, so it will be 14 from this side plus 14 plus this side, and you have total 1 mm here, right? 14 mils, 1 mm is 39.37 mils. So you have total from here to here 39.37 mils from this point to this point. But this point from here to here it is 14, and from here to here it is 14. So it means we can 14 into 2, and 39.39 I have space available. So if you go, you will have spacing for 11.37 mils for copper spacing. So similarly, you can do some calculations for the other value of the anti-pad. Suppose I want to have anti-pad 26. So if you want to have anti-pad only 26, so you will have 13.37 spacing, copper spacing. Same things you can say for different anti-pad, right? I want to change it to 26 half, 13, from here to here 13, from here to here 13. So you have a more spacing area again. So this is the 28 mils anti-pad, 26 mil anti-pad with 10 FHS. Now I reduce the FHS size to make sure we have more spacing for copper spacing. So based on this anti-pad, you can check either you have this spacing, copper spacing is enough or not for differential signal or for single. Yeah, for single layer, if you have 1 mm pitch, I think there will not be any problem. Suppose if you have transmission line 5 mil passing from this between gap, so or 4 mil, you need to have 4 mil. Suppose it's 4 mil width transmission line passing from this 4 mil, so you need to have 4 mil gap here and 4 mil gap here minimum. That is the requirement. So 12 mil, right? 12 mil. So if you check 12 mil, it will not meet here, but I think this may be okay or this may be okay. So accordingly, you need to design and check either this your design is meeting the manufacturing requirement, or based on this calculation, if you have both BGA region and both BGA region have this anti-pad, so you need to check either this transmission line is good enough to pass this or not. Now let us check for the rules for 0.8 mm. 0.8 mm have 31.49, so this will be much difficult to meet. You can say here if you get 28 mils, 10 mils, again DHS 12 mils, pad 20 mils, anti-pad 28 mils. So similarly, if you do the calculation here, you will have only 3.49 mils. See, only 3.49 mils. So you cannot even pass a single transmission line between this. So you need to reduce the anti-pad. To reduce the anti-pad, you can reduce the even FHS, so you can use this one. So you will have some 7.49 mils if you do the calculation. 7.49 mils for the transmission line, for single transmission line to pass through it. So all this calculation is done to check either the transmission line is good enough, or the transmission line is the copper space is good enough for the transmission line to pass between the two via two anti-pad or two BGA region. Or if you will have only one BGA region here, or another there is no anti-pad on this BGA region, oh then you are fine. Then accordingly you need to change your formula, right? You can visualize the picture. Suppose you don't have anti-pad here, you have only BGA region, so rest here 14 mil, right? From this with this you will have more space, right? You will have maybe pad only. So according to your design, you need to check either do you have two anti-pad together on the BGA region, or you have only one anti-pad, you only have pad here. So according to your design, you need to check the calculation and think about the design, so that you can have you don't do any you follow the manufacturing rules, and you have a better PCB garbage out. Thank you for your time. That's all for today.